Okay, let's unpack this. We're doing a deep dive today on a pretty explosive market event around Circle Internet Group, stock ticker CRCL. If you're an investor, especially one tracking digital payments, this is likely on your radar. We want to get into the forces behind this recent rally.
Absolutely. What's fascinating here is really seeing how several different factors, big ones, have kind of converged to drive Circle stock performance. So our goal is to give you a clear, factual picture. Look at the catalyst, sure, but also touch on the key risks involved.
And it's been quite the performance. The IPO was what, June 5th, 2025? Launched at $31.1 a share.
That's right, $31.
And since then, I mean, it's seen this incredible surge.
Yeah.
Roughly 6x, hitting highs around $240. That definitely turns heads.
It really does.
So what's actually fueling this? What's the core driver here?
Well, the big one, the primary catalyst, seems to be the U.S. Senate passing the Genius Act.
Ah, the regulatory piece. Okay.
Exactly. And this is huge because it sets up a clear framework for stablecoins. Critically, it mandates these safe asset reserves, meaning, their digital dollars have to be backed by highly liquid, secure assets, sort of like how traditional banks back deposits.
Right. That adds a layer of, well, perceived safety and legitimacy.
A massive layer. This legislative step alone seemed to trigger rallies of 30 to 34% almost immediately. It just fundamentally de-risked the stablecoin space in many eyes. Signaled a potential new era for mainstream financial adoption.
Okay, so a foundational shift potentially underway. And it looks like analysts are picking up on that optimism, too. We saw Seaport Research Partners, Jeff Cantwell, initiating coverage by rating, $235 target.
Yeah.
Pretty strong start.
Very strong. And Cantwell's projecting pretty robust growth, too, something like 25 to 30% annual revenue growth for Circle, driven largely by demand for their stablecoin, USDC, and more businesses using the Circle Payments network.
And didn't Kathy Wood also weigh in?
She did. Kathy Wood from ARK Invest mentioned something along the lines of the rally having just begun, which, adds to that bullish sentiment out there.
Right. That analyst confidence certainly paints a bright picture. But let's talk macro for a second. How does Circle actually fit into the bigger stablecoin market? Are there broader tailwinds helping?
Definitely. So USDC, Circle's coin, is currently the second largest stablecoin. Market cap around $61 billion. That gives it roughly 24 to 29% market share, which is significant.
Okay.
And this position means Circle is really well placed to benefit if or as institutions start using stablecoins more for things like cross-border payments, remittances, e-commerce, even DeFi. Seaport, the analyst we mentioned, they estimate the whole stablecoin market could jump from maybe $260 billion today to $500 billion by the end of 2026.
Wow.
And maybe even $2 trillion long term. That's a huge potential growth trajectory.
Okay, given that massive potential market, what is Circle's specific edge, especially compared to, say, Tether, the biggest player, or even other crypto plays?
Good question. The main argument is that, unlike Tether perhaps, USDC offers better, or at least clearer, regulatory compliance and transparency.
Ah, so leaning into the regulation aspect.
Exactly. And that's critical right now. It positions Circle as arguably the primary stock-based way to invest directly in this stablecoin boom. Coinbase, for example, is a key partner, but Circle is seen as the more, let's say, pure play exposure to stablecoin growth itself.
Got it. That makes sense. Okay, but with a run-up this fast, this steep, there have got to be risks. We have to talk about the potential downsides for investors here.
Oh, absolutely. This raises an important question, right, about valuation and sustainability. After a nearly 6x jump, some are definitely saying the stock might be overbought. You saw Seeking Alpha, for instance, warn about a potential FOMO rally, fear of missing out, driving prices maybe too high too fast, setting up for a correction.
Okay, valuation concerns. What else?
Then there's profit margin sensitivity. Circle's revenue comes mostly from interest earned on those reserves backing USDC. So if interest rates fall, or if they have to pay more to partners like Coinbase to keep them using USDC, that could squeeze their margins.
Makes sense. And the regulation isn't fully done yet, is it?
That's the other key risk. The Genius Act passed the Senate, yes, but it still needs to get through the House and then get presidential approval. Any delays, any significant changes in the House version, that could definitely impact investor sentiment negatively.
Okay, so let's try and synthesize this. We've got a stock rally driven by what looks like landmark regulatory momentum, best-in-class stablecoin adoption, pretty strong analyst backing, and this clear growth story around payment infrastructure.
That sums it up well. For investors who are betting on digital dollars really becoming the next big thing in global payments, CRCL offers a high upside potential play. But, and this is crucial, it absolutely comes with high volatility, and there's a significant dependence on that regulatory path clearing up smoothly. Policy follow-through is key.
Right. So for you, the listener, perhaps the provocative thought here is this. As the world keeps moving towards digital currencies, how much of Circle's explosive growth story is truly foundational, built on the tech and adoption? And how much is still hanging on getting that final, clear regulatory green light?